a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
The bits, the bits, the bits, the bits, the bits.
Welcome to the Bits, hosted by your favorite jam buds. I'm Robert.
And I'm Charlie. And are we ready? Are we ready here today? Are we going fast? Think we can go fast? I'm Speed.
I am Speed, because today we're looking at Season 3, Episode 11 of Steven Universe, Beach City Drift, which premiered July 2nd, 2016. Charlie.
Robert?
This is a fun episode. This episode and the next episode is really the peak of, Rebecca Sugar and the crew are a bunch of anime weebs.
Seriously. I also would have made a reference to what I know this episode is meant to be referencing, but I've never actually seen that franchise. So, much like your good friend, Mike Schubert, I had never seen that franchise.
Except he has, and he made a podcast about it. Anyway,
Exactly.
Before we begin the episode today, Charlie, the postman, bring us any post.
The postman did bring us a post. Hey,
Ooh.
Mr. Postman, bring me a post. Bring me the post I love the most.
All right, folks, you heard them. We have a post today. What's the post, Charlie?
This post is from Cora. It says, "Hi, you haven't been getting posts, so here's a picture of a bird that I drew arms on. Hope it shows up." And there is, in fact, a picture of a tiny yellow bird that has some cartoonish arms on it.
I did not know we had this. I want to go to the Gmail right now and check it out.
Please do. And then it says, "Have a good day, Cora."
That is indeed a picture of a bird that they drew arms on. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Cora.
Beautiful. Wonderful. This is all I needed in my day. I wish I had started my day with that, actually. But it's also a good ending, I guess.
We appreciate the picture of the bird with arms drawn on it, but if you want to send us something about the episode in question, the episodes are covering, something Steven Universe related, you can email us at thebitssupod@gmail.com. And without further ado, let's just start talking about the episode, Charlie.
Yeah, well, let's see. Steven is driving? ? No, he's actually just, pretending. He's practicing. He's got, his cool little shades on, and he's chilling in his dad's new car.
Yeah. Steven, he rolls down the window, he greets Connie, he's like, "Hey, Dad, thanks for letting me practice drive." Is it really practice driving if the car doesn't move?
I think it's just play driving. I think that's
Yeah.
all it is.
Yeah, that's what's play driving at that point, yeah.
It's practicing if, you're putting on your seatbelt, you're checking your mirrors, you're doing your driver checklist kind of things. I guess it could be considered practice, but Steven was having fun.
Steven was just having fun. It's too small for Greg to live in, but he figured he should buy a new car since, he's rich.
Yeah, but it's not a new car because, as Connie says, it has a used sticker on it. And I love that Greg has a new sticker in his back pocket that he changes and puts over the used, say, "Dad on board." Do we love it? I love it.
Yeah, I mean, why does Greg have that? We'll never know. It's one of those, it's just cartoony, what's it called? What's the thing where Spider-Pig pulls hammers out of his pocket?
Hammerspace?
Hammerspace. It's just Hammerspace, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, Greg's like, "This was the coolest car." And he starts referencing a bunch of 90s things. It was the age of slap bracelets.
Frosted tips, mood rings.
The 90s.
Yeah, Charlie, as representatives born in the late 90s, we don't technically, if you ask a 90s kid if we count, we don't really count because we didn't experience the 90s. We were busy shitting ourselves for the rest of the 90s.
Hey, I still watched Rugrats. Okay? I think I count.
It is always really funny to me when I see those millennial posts that are top 10 things Gen Z doesn't know about. And it's you're our older siblings. You showed us VHSs and fucking
I had VHSs.
slap bracelets and frosted tips. Like we saw it through you. And even if you didn't have an older sibling, you still saw it in like the nomenclature of society.
I was going to say, I didn't have older siblings, but we did have many AVHS. Many AVHS. So it doesn't matter that I was born in 97. I still knew about that stuff.
Hey, Charlie.
Hey.
30's approaching very soon.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Just about 2 years away, buddy.
I am living 28. It's my once upon a time year. I'm living it. Okay?
Has your kid come to your house and knocked on it and been like, hey, you're the chosen one?
Is that not Archie? Is Archie not my son, my long lost son, who's telling me that I'm the chosen one? Because he chose me.
True. Greg, of course, fondly remembers his time as, the time to be alive. And then he shows the kids many photos of him when he was younger with the car. Mainly just photos of him, I guess, getting kicked out of a car lot because he couldn't buy the car.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then their conversation is interrupted by a very fast yellow sports car.
Driven by none other than Kevin.
Kevin! And he immediately...
we hate him. He asks Greg to give the car a wash, calling him an old man. Greg does it, despite the fact that, he shouldn't have to put up with that disrespect. And also, he's rich.
Exactly. Greg, you don't need to put up with this anymore. You have money.
The kids run up and they're like, hey, you look like this other, they would say asshole. This was like an adult cartoon. You look like this other asshole we know. And Kevin's like, that's not possible. There's only one Kevin. And then he drives off. And then Greg is like, you forgot to pay. I'm rich. Who cares?
And Steven says, I hate Kevin. Steven?
No, Stubal. That's a strong letter. That's a strong 4-letter word.
Steven is very angry about the Kevin situation. Connie is thoughtful anger about the situation. I'm a Steven.
Yeah.
I am a Steven.
I'm also Steven. Greg is like, hey, do you guys know Kevin? And Connie explains the incident of when they first fused and how Kevin tried to get him to dance. And Steven calls him a creep. Yeah, and also later on, as we find out, he's very much a creep.
He is so much a creep. And Greg is like, oh, I didn't know about this. I'm sorry. So
Greg also gets mad when Steven uses the word creep, and Steven's like, excuse you, that's 5 letters?
I think creep's also a word that you can say. I think that's better than hate, okay? Because that man deserved it.
Yeah. Connie continues to explain that it was uncomfortable when Kevin kept asking them to dance, and Steven's like, yeah, Kevin didn't really care about our feelings. Greg says that if it's causing them this much trouble, then they should not give him the satisfaction of thinking about him. And Connie thanks Greg.
And then the rest of the day, they end up thinking about it. Like, all day.
Yeah.
Like, several hours later, they're lying on the car, and they're like, we're still thinking about Kevin. And we're still stewing in this.
To be fair, it's like that classic thing of like, if I tell you don't think of an elephant, now you're thinking of an elephant. Like, it just comes naturally in the thought process.
What if I thought of a panda instead?
Think of an elephant.
Panda. You're welcome.
Listener, if you thought of an elephant, you have to smash that like button, leave a comment, rate and review.
Subscribe. Turn on that bell for notifications.
We do upload these to YouTube, so if you do want to do that, by all means.
My goodness.
We keep hearing from other podcasts that video podcasts is the way of the future, but also, God, I do not want to have to worry about what I look like
I think it's so hilarious that we're just reinventing the YouTube video.
Yeah, we're reinventing the YouTube video, and people are like, "Oh, I like video podcast interviews." I'm like, "That's just a video. That's just a video."
You realize that podcasts were created as an audio format for just the audio format. Like, you're putting the video back into it. Again, this is video killing the audio star once again. So,
and I'm sure someday the audio will once again kill the video star.
Anyway, they have an idea.
Mr. Krabs, I have an idea.
And they're like, if only we could beat him in a car race. But we're kids, we can't drive. But we weren't kids when we met Kevin. Dun, dun, dun.
I just want to point out, I don't know how well it's going to pick up in the recording, but some sports car definitely just hit the gas behind like where Charlie lives, and I could hear it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's really funny timing that we're talking about a racing episode, and there's definitely some asshole who just like hit the gas where you live.
Yeah, there absolutely is. So we go to the racetrack, quote unquote, where Kevin just raced, I'm forgetting, Jenny in the pizza car, no less. And of course he beat her. And he's
Yeah.
like, hey, anybody else want any other takers want to race me? Ronaldo's there with his like fucking scooter.
Ronaldo's about to shatter Kevin's ankles with his Razor scooter.
Ridiculous. The Dondai comes in.
And then the Dondai comes in, and who comes out of it?
It's Stevani. And Ronaldo's like, oh my god, is that a Supremo? That's apparently the nickname for this car. Ronaldo is also apparently a car nerd, I guess.
He does that anime thing where the glasses like don't reflect light or anything. They're just like solid color. While he's kind of pissed, he's like, did you not know that a Supremo is a Dondai?
Uh-huh. You don't know the true power of the Supremo.
Which is really funny to me. Kevin realizes that the brats at the car wash seem familiar because he's like, oh yeah, you're those two kids. You're doing the two kids in a beautiful trench coat routine. Oh, right. So strike one, you know they're both kids. Stop flirting.
Yep. He really needs to. He's being a creep.
It was creepy in like the normal bad way, I guess, TM, when you thought Stevani was someone roughly the same age as you. Now that you know that they're two kids stacked on top of each other in a trench coat, metaphorically, cut that shit out. He doesn't, but cut that shit out.
Like, when he found out in the first time, he was like, that's two kids, I'm out. And now that he's like, oh, but I see the beautiful disguise once again, therefore I must be my flirty Kevin self.
It's terrible. Stevani blows us off and they're like, getting ready to race. The race starts at the top of the mountain and the race ends when the first person crosses the finish line at the bottom. The race is going to start at the start of the next hour. What the fuck kind of like 19? I mean, you know what? It's references. It's like, meet me after school after the third bell or whatever, that kind of shit.
High noon.
It's high noon. Except at this point, I think it's like 9 o'clock at night that they're going to go racing.
So it's past their bedtime, is what you're saying.
Does Stephen have a bedtime? Connie definitely should have a curfew.
I was just about to ask that question.
Stephen,
Also,
I think, just goes to sleep whenever he wants. Connie definitely has a curfew.
What is the legality of drag racing like this?
Depending on the state, illegal, like you'll get a ticket. I don't think you'll get arrested per se unless the cops want to be assholes, but at least I think you're gonna get a ticket.
I mean, this is Delmarva, so it's not like we can look that up, but I'm just like, would Stephen and Connie like get arrested if I mean they would because they don't have a license.
Yeah, first and foremost, Stephen and Connie driving without a license is a big no-no. And then secondly, it would be drag racing.
Yeah. It is funny that they're just like, oh, it's illegal for us to drive because we're kids. They're like, but we can drive a Stevani who is technically looks older, physically is older, not in years, and does not have a license.
No.
The legality does not check out here, my dudes.
No, it does not.
I enjoy the gimmick.
I enjoy the gimmick too. So race starts, they start racing on the hill. It's adventure packed, so to speak, and Stevani speeds ahead of Kevin, and then they realize, oh shit, there's a really steep turn, and they perfectly fucking drift. It's textbook perfect.
I mean, it is in fact a beach city drift.
Haha.
If you catch
it's
my
just
drift.
Where did they learn how to do this? I presume it's the Steven half of Stevani being like, oh, I saw this in a movie taking over.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think the fact that they don't crash is Connie, and Steven plays video games and watches movies. Steven has definitely played car racing games, so he knows some shit, but Connie's the reason that they don't crash.
Yeah. As the race continues, Kevin continues to mock and tease Stevani, and Stevani's like, why are you such a jerk? And then he pulls this bullshit story out of his ass about a brother who's dying, and he's like, well, if I can inflict pain on others, maybe that pain won't be inflicted on me or my brother, or some shit like that. And Stevani fucking buys it for a second before he's like, dude, I don't even have a brother, and then he just speeds off.
Like, what the fuck? And yeah, of course, Stevani gets so angry. Like, this is literal tunnel vision that comes into view in the animation as well. It looks like there are cracks in the road. Like, Stevani's gonna fall off the road. Oh no. And then This is a literal crash out. Oh my god, Stefani crashed out. Right? Right?
Yeah, they crash out, and they crash out so badly that like the car stops, and we then cut back to just Steven and Connie. Like they unfuse. That's how unbalanced they got.
Mm-hmm. They step out of the car for a minute and they think about like, why are we doing this? Like, he got in our heads. He's the reason we fused. We are too obsessed. We need a better reason to do this. We need a better reason to be together right now. Okay? And so they get back in the car, refuse, and they catch up to Kevin somehow.
Yeah, this whole time that they're like talking to each other and going through this motion, I'm like, so he's won already, right? No, he's like a short jaunt away. I guess he just sort of stopped for shits and giggles. He's like, I'm gonna start going again when I see them coming up.
It's the tortoise and the hare, okay?
A little bit, yeah. They are neck and neck again. Kevin's still trying to taunt Stefani, but Stefani is like not paying attention to him anymore. They notice the view of the city. They notice the sky, the stars in the sky. They're having a good time. Even such to a point that when Kevin pulls out some fucking turbo nitro bullshit and wins the race by like a hair, Stefani gets out of the car, and the first thing they do when they see Kevin is like offer to shake his hand, and they're like, "You were right, Kevin. The view from the hill is beautiful."
Did you see that view? Did you like pause it at the moment when the cars are there on the road over
No,
the
I did
hill?
not. I did not.
Because it's future. It's Steven Universe future with the Dondai.
Oh my god, you're right.
It's the exact same shot.
But like when Steven's leaving, oh my god,
Yeah.
wait, fuck. I didn't clock that. I forgot about that completely.
This is foreshadowing somehow.
Is it foreshadowing, or is it just in future maybe they were like, oh, this was a cool scene we animated, let's reuse it again?
Maybe. I don't know. It's unclear. How does that work? Anyway, Stefani is like a good sport about this whole thing. Second place isn't so bad. For my first driving a car.
Oh, Stefani is unbothered, moisturized, hydrated, and Kevin is crashing out because he's like, no, you're supposed to pay attention to me when I'm being an asshole. Why aren't you paying attention to me? And Stefani just leaves. And he's like, he's like following the car being like, hey, like respect me, or what the fuck he says. I forget. You're obsessed with me. You're obsessed with me.
God, why are you so obsessed with me?
Which is, again, so bad because he knows for sure those are two kids in a trench coat, quote unquote.
He literally makes a joke about it at one point. He's just like, aren't I a little old for you? Like earlier? Like, dude.
Here's the thing. If they, for some fucking reason, went the route of like the alternate universe, Steven and Connie had a crush on Kevin or whatever, the right way to handle that is to be like Kevin being like, even if he's an asshole character, being like, I'm too old for you guys, cut that shit out. I don't know. I feel like this is a weird way to sort of accentuate that this character's an asshole. It's not implying anything. Like, Rebecca Sugar isn't going to be like, oh, this guy's a pedophile. Like, they're not going to fucking do that.
Like, it's definitely implied, but I don't personally think that Kevin is interested in them anymore. Like, I think at this point Kevin's just like, I want the attention, because regardless of romantic and sexual like attraction otherwise, Kevin wants attention.
Kevin wants attention.
All he wants people to be obsessed with him, people to think he's super duper cool. Like, think about the next episode that we see him in. The last time I think we ever see him is like forever.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
Yeah, it's a lot.
You know what else is a lot?
What else is a lot?
The amount of trivia, cultural references, and continuity we have to cover in the Crystal Temple trivia.
Well, let's go over there.
Mm-hmm.
When Steven and Connie are fused into Stefani, they can skillfully drive the Dondai Supremo, even though neither has driven before.
Connie is wearing her father's jacket throughout the episode. This is something we forgot to mention. Stefani is probably in their best outfit because of that jacket.
Yes, correct. I was just like, oh my god, it's the Nico jacket. Stefani?
Oh my god, it is the Nico jacket.
it's the Nico jacket. Stefani and Nico holding hands. We wear aviator jackets. The episode's name was first revealed in the episode listing on the Cartoon Network website.
Steven and Connie fuse and refuse into Stefani, easily implying they learn how to fuse at will.
Woo! Jenny specifically refers to Stefani using the singular they, a canon nod to their non-binary gender.
Peridot could hear the sound of the cards in this episode and went to investigate the noise before giving up and going back to finish writing her essay on Camp Piney Hearts. You can read about it on her Twitter.
Oh my god! This is the first episode to feature 3D animation. Didn't know that.
And now for culture references. This episode's title might be a reference to the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, or the Korean MMORPG Thrift City.
At It's a Wash, the water in the bucket rippling is a reference to the T-Rex water scene from Jurassic Park. Oh, so Kevin is a dinosaur?
Much of the episode is an extended parody of the 1990s manga and anime series Initial D. The racing site where Kevin and Savani race resembles the famous Akina Pass featured in the series. The Dondai Supremo is based on a 1992 Volkswagen Golf MK2, which elements borrowed from a 1986 Toyota Sprinter Torino. As such, it resembles the AE86 used by Takumi Fujiwara in the Initial D series, which, like the Supremo, was owned by his father, while Kevin's Hitsumu X12 is based on Kaisuke Takahashi's 1991 Mazda RX-7 Type R from Initial D. Both are painted similarly to their Initial D counterparts too. The driving sequence with the Eurobeat-inspired soundtrack and close-ups of the pedals imitates the races in Initial D, which have also been widely parodied in other anime races. Savani's ignorance about the car, knowing it only as a Dondai when Ronaldo talks about the power to Supremo, also referenced the anime, in which Takumi initially doesn't understand when his car is referred to as an AE86, as he only knows the Torino name on the badge. Jenny remarking that her time delivering for her family business did not prepare her for the download run is a reference to how Takumi's skill in the downhill was nurtured exclusively through making deliveries for his father's tofu shop.
All right. When Greg shows pictures of himself longing to buy a Dondai, he shares a plate of spaghetti with it. This is a reference to the famous spaghetti eating scene from Disney's Lady and the Tramp.
Dondai might be a spoof of the South Korean-based company Hyundai.
The Blue Jay that appeared at the start of the race may be a reference to the character Mordecai from the Cartoon Network series Regular Show.
Whoa! When Stevani races Kevin, it is similar to a Canyon duel race from EA's 2006 video game Need for Speed Carbon.
Coincidentally, there is another car called Jansen X12 from EA's 2008 Burnout Paradise, which the Himitsu X12 has the same name as that car.
And now for Charlie's favorite section.
Continuity?
This is the first appearance of Connie since Steven's birthday.
Kevin makes his second appearance since his debut in Alone Together.
When Kevin leaves the car wash without paying, Greg responds with, "Oh, what do I care? I'm rich," a reference to the leftover royalties he received in Drop Beat Dad.
The events of Sour Cream's rave from Alone Together are brought up by Stephen and Connie.
Kevin's car is a Himitsu, which is the same type of car seen in several advertisements in Empire City during Same Old World and Mr. Greg.
The jacket that Connie and Stevani wore in this episode actually belongs to Connie's father, Doug. He is first seen wearing it in Fusion Cuisine.
And now, who are we giving our Pearl point to? I think I'm going to give it to half of it to Steven, half of it to Connie.
I'm going to give it to Stevani.
Because they're an experience. And now for the question, what is the most reckless thing you've done while driving?
Sped?
What?
Sped?
You were witness to one of the most
Yes,
irresponsible things
Yes,
I did in a car. It was when all the podcasters had gathered in New York. We had just come home. We were just leaving a bar, and everyone who had drunk was like, "We want something sweet and sugary." And you, who hadn't drunk but also want something sweet and sugary, was like, "I also would like something sweet and sugary." And so we were passing by an Insomnia cookie, and I made a super illegal U-turn to get on the right side so we can park next to the Insomnia cookies. It's only illegal if I don't get caught. Recently, I went to an event where, number one, I got to meet Rick Riordan. Holy shit. Number two, I parked super illegally for like an hour and change, and I did not get towed or a ticket. So that was also a win.
I mean, there have definitely been like the times when I turn and I'm like, oh crap, I was not supposed to be, I'm not able to actually turn here. That was a mistake.
Like you went down a one-way road the wrong way?
I don't think it was, I don't know if I've like gone down a one-way road the wrong way, but I definitely like, maybe I backed into a one-way road the wrong way or something like that. But like, there've definitely been times like that. I've not like parked in illegal spots.
You've had a history of being a pizza delivery person. Have you had to like park illegally to deliver pizza?
But like with that, my brain is like, I am putting the car there for a span of 2 minutes and I will be within sight of it.
Sometimes cops, all they want is those 2 minutes before they're like, yes, ticket time.
I mean, I always parked on like the side of the road or potentially in a spot that was available. If there was something that said you cannot park here, probably not. But I probably parked near like a hydrant for like the span of 2 minutes while going somewhere. But again, if I can like drop the pizza and leave, then I don't even need to worry about it at all.
I had a brief stint where I was doing like Uber and DoorDash for a couple months, like during COVID. And it was terrible just because of the parking situations. And sometimes people would be like, dude, you need to come up here. And I'm like, dude, you live on the 10th floor of this fucking apartment complex. By the time I get up to you and come back, I'm risking getting a ticket. That will be more than what I've made delivering shit tonight.
Exactly.
But it is what it is. You know what else this is? This is the end of another episode of The Bits. Charlie, thank you so much for recording a podcast with me.
Yeah. Thank you for recording a podcast with me, Robert. Your presence brings me joy.
Gay.
Well, gay does mean happy, so.
You should end it.
I should end it. I should end the podcast. Well,
Yeah.
You know what? If our podcast were perfect.
We wouldn't have The Bits.
Bye-bye.
Bye. You can follow this podcast socials at thebitssupod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send a message to our dime line through thebitssupod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at patreon.com/thebitsu. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about Steven Universe, or whatever else. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Steven's Room, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll talk about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with Steven in some way. No promises.
You can check out our merch store, The Bits SU, on Redbubble to find custom designs made by Charlie, me. Or if you cannot do that or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. It really helps. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws. You can also hear my voice on 2 other podcasts. I co-host another podcast on the network with Ray called Of the Eldest Gods, where we talk about the mythology book series by Rick Riordan, starting with Percy Jackson. I also co-host a podcast with my buddy Ethan called Mysteries in the Machine, where we talk about all things Scooby-Doo.
You can find me, Robert, at the Damn Meme page on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. If you want to hear more from me, check out my YouTube channel, also called the Damn Meme page, where I make videos mainly about Percy Jackson, but also sometimes other fun stuff. If you want to find me elsewhere in the podcast verse, you can also tune into my podcast, The Pit Crew, a show dedicated to dissecting the HBO Max medical drama, The Pit. The Bits is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like Content and Capable that follow Sam as he tries to figure out what it truly means to adult.
Have you ever gotten so distracted in Stardew Valley that you forgot to sleep? Have you realised that you have a whole room in your house full of dolls? Or have you even bored your friends to sleep talking about your passion? Well then, Content Capable is the podcast for you. Join me, Sam, as I chat to people passionate about what they do, asking questions about how they fell in love with their passion, what they do, and how it interacts with their day-to-day lives. Catch the podcast every Monday as I find out what makes someone tick, all while gleaning interesting and insightful life lessons along the way. There'll be laughs, a bit of crying, a whole lot of conversations, and we learn just a little bit more about the world around us.
Deus Ex Media.